Now, some people going to get mad at me, but I'm already saved. And I decided a long time, if it comes between somebody being mad and God being mad, somebody going to be mad. But where you sow your offering makes a difference. We refer to it as precious seed. Precious seed requires precious ground. And all ground is not precious. Because I hear people saying, well, but I gave my offering this way. And it doesn't negate your offering. It just may pull it out of precious. And it may confuse people a little bit. And so Solomon gets clear, I need to sow a specific offering at a specific place. Somebody shout specific. Now, here's what I want you to understand is that this type of offering had a specific requirement. Watch this. You got to watch this. Because, see, the scripture, if you don't know the tradition, the scripture won't reveal it to you. The requirement is one good sheep per house. One good sheep per house. Now, here's what a good sheep is. You couldn't take a raggedy sheep and sacrifice it unto God and count it as precious. Now, raggedy means something was wrong with it. It had a defect, something imperfect about it. The requirement was one perfect sheep per house. Y'all got it? That was the requirement. But because Solomon was clear, I'm not sowing for my house. My house is already okay. I'm sowing for my empire. Okay. So I'm trying to talk to some people in here that have an empire state of mind. You can't meet minimum requirements and want an empire. No, y'all got to hear what I'm saying. Now, you can't buy it, but it is showing where your faith is. You've got to be willing to bring your best. Now, watch this. Solomon brought 1,000 perfect sheep. Now listen to me, business people, because Solomon was in the sheep business. Do you understand how it could devastate your inventory to take 1,000 perfect sheep out of the inventory? No, y'all, cause see, it's more than 1,000 because perfect begets perfect. And so literally what would happen is if he took the best sheep, then it could affect the quality of his overall herd. That's what made the offering precious, because it don't make business sense. Why would you take 1,000 of your best sheep and give it to God as a burnt offering? Do you understand? This could affect the overall quality of your herd and your income. That's what made it precious. But see, you got to read on a little further in 1 Kings, because he knew this is an empire seed. 1,000 perfect sheep. And I'm asking you today, do you have an empire state of mind? Yeah, because that requires you to do something different. But watch this. If you read the rest of read further into Kings, the next time he gives an offering, he gives 120,000 sheep. Okay, y'all missed it. He gave 1,000 sheep the first time, and that was precious. But because he gave the precious, God blessed him so much that the next time 1,000 sheep were not precious. See, some of us get caught up in where we are. Now, here's what I love, is that the precious grades on the curve. Okay, some of y'all missed that. The precious grades on the curve. That what's precious for one person is not precious for another person. We get caught up in the number and not the concept. So there's people that will give $1,000 to the church, and that's not precious. And there's people that will give $10, and that's precious. Oh my goodness. Y'all got to get the principle. So wherever you are, there's a category called precious. I remember some of y'all that's been around here for a moment, remember we used to do this thing called Thank God It's Friday. And before we had a building, we actually did it at the Walker Building. And we bring in national recording artists, and it was free, and people said, y'all crazy. Why are you down there renting a building, bringing in recorders, and you don't even have a building? And the reason is because we wasn't given to a building. We were given to an empire. And I remember there was one time we took up an offering. Lady Nicole, I don't know if you remember this. And by quantity, it wasn't a great offering. But I saw people coming up, turning out their coin purses and dumping everything that they had in the offering. And I knew this was something different because it was the precious. People were giving what was precious to them. So let me finish my Solomon story. How many did he give the first time? 1,000. The next time he gave 120,000. Y'all missed that. Because he gave the precious the first time, God grew his flock in such a magnificent way that the second time his precious was 100. Okay, I don't have no empire people. I need some empire people to understand that sacrifice opened the floodgates to his empire. But Lady Nicole, here's where I really got excited. Because if you read a little further, the next offering said it was too many to count. Oh, I got excited because they said from 100, now 120 is a whole lot to count. 120,000 is a whole lot to count. But the next time he made an offering, it said it was too many. So that means that God had continued to put his hands on his business, because even as he grew, he did not withdraw giving the precious. As he gave the precious, it mandated a blessing from heaven that took him from business to the supernatural, supernatural to absolutely amazing.
Hands together. Oh, yeah. Love God to the face. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I was running in circles, jumping the hurdles, getting caught in that rush of doing so much. I was feeling kind of worn out, always checking the boxes, trying to be flawless, always spinning my head and catching my breath. I was too afraid to blow it down. I told myself to keep this up, that God wanted more than just my love, but I was complicating things, was just like me.